just tossed Wyatt out of that tunnel.
What's going on, YouTube? It's Sensei and Place to be Church from Mr. Andy. Back with giving you another Smackdown review. Friday night Smackdown from August 21st, 2020. Welcome to the Thunderdome. Yes, now we're here at the Thunderdome. This is WWE's way of bringing in virtual fans. The NBA has done it. The MLB has the cardboard cutouts. We don't know what the NFL is going to bring, but now WWE has the Thunderdome. They use the Orlando Magic Stadium up until October, and then so for SummerSlam and for Raw, for SmackDown, foreseeable future, this is where we're going to be at. And I have to say, I never thought I would be so ecstatic to see that old arena SmackDown and Raw layout, because I am tired of the Performance Center. I get the Performance Center, I understand why you have to do it, but now with them having these virtual fans, I thought it was it looked pretty dope. It looked pretty dope. I watch NBA faithfully. Obviously, they got the playoffs going on, so they got that one side of fans. This one's like going around, like a dome. And I think they have more virtual fans than the NBA does. So it's cool. So Vince McMahon is out there introducing everybody to the Thunderdome, but somebody who doesn't care. The Fiend starts coming out, and then we get the whole Fiend entrance in the Thunderdome. At first, I was just like, God, can we stop doing the Fiend's whole entrance, except for like at big moments, stuff like that? But I was like, but it's a big moment. They're doing the Thunderdome, so they want to show off his entrance and how good it will look instead of doing it in the Performance Center. Fine, and you know what? I was cool with that. The Fiend said out Vince McMahon, but then here comes Braun Strowman. Braun Strowman comes out now, and Vince McMahon gets out of Dodge, and then now it's just Braun Strowman and the Fiend staring each other down. And then all of a sudden, here comes Retribution. All of them surround the ring, so it's even more than it was last time. I'm just like, what is the deal with this group? What are they trying to do with this group? So as they're standing around the ring, the Fiend just says this to Braun Strowman. The lights go out, then it comes back on again, and then it's just Braun Strowman getting jumped by Retribution. I mean, it's like 30 guys. I thought that it was going to be the Fiend and Braun Strowman take all Retribution out, but no, he leaves, and then Retribution just takes out Braun Strowman. But then here comes the SmackDown roster. I mean, literally everybody's coming out of the fight. All Retribution, the men and the women. They finally fight them all. Strowman gets mad, knocks down Drew Gulak, and takes out Jimmy Uso and stuff like that. But as that's all basically was as we walk to the back. So that was opening up SmackDown. I thought it opening up pretty strong. Jeff Hardy's in the back. He had some apparent leg injury, but we're going to get an update on him a little bit later. As things are going on, we as the SmackDown roster is still outside in the ring, Big E and Sheamus are getting ready for their matchup, because obviously Sheamus broke kicked Big E last week. So we get a matchup, Big E versus Sheamus. All the superstars are still around there, not because it's a lumberjack match, because they're keeping a lookout for Retribution. So just seeing them wrestle with the virtual fans and like that, I thought was pretty cool. Of course they have the 2K piped in noise, just like NBA has the 2K piped in noise too, stuff like that. So I mean, like I said, for right now, from what we were getting at the Performance Center, it's way better. So Big E gets kneed by Sheamus, kind of like a bro knee in a way. Big E kicks out, so Sheamus better go for the bro kick, but then Baron Corbin pushes Matt Riddle on the outside. Then they start fighting, and then they just all start. They kind of like to start fighting on the outside, like brawling. Why does that distract Sheamus? I don't know. But Sheamus is looking outside and just like trying to tell everybody to stop fighting. Like, I don't get why that distracted Sheamus. And Big E rolls him up and gets the win over Sheamus like that. I was like, didn't like the way how that went, because I was like, why does he need to be distracted? In other words, but yes, Big E picks up the win. Tag team matchup as Shinsuke Nakamura and Cesaro take on the Lucha House Party, Lince Dorado and Gran Metalik with Kalisto by their side. A good high-flying matchup with everything. These guys got some good chemistry here, and then Cesaro's just an amazing guy. Lince Dorado, he gets tossed up for like a pop-up powerbomb, but catches a Hurricane Rana, but Cesaro rolls through it and rolls up Lince Dorado. So he picks up the win. He's obviously frustrated, and then him and Kalisto start arguing, and then Lince Dorado pushes Kalisto down on the ground as Gran Metalik is trying to break them up. So we could be having a rift in Lucha House Party. Jeff Hardy's backstage, and then it's revealed that on camera, as Jeff Hardy was coming out to take out Retribution, AJ Styles came from behind and clubbed him right in his leg. So now his leg is a bit injured. So AJ Styles caused the injury for Jeff Hardy, but Jeff Hardy's still gonna go on and still have the Intercontinental Championship match later on tonight. Sasha Banks and Bayley are outside the ring getting interviewed by Corey Grace. Corey Grace is talking about the breakup between them two, or the rift between these two, because if who's going to start them at SummerSlam. Well, they're going to have a beat the clock tonight because Naomi comes out. And Naomi says she wants to take on both of them. So, good spot for Naomi. She drop kicks both of them. So, Sasha and Naomi's up first. Naomi and Sasha, they have a pretty good quick match. I actually like seeing Naomi versus Sasha because after Team Bad, we never truly had like a Naomi versus Sasha match unless they were going back and forth for like tag team matches. Well, Sasha makes Naomi tap out, I think, in 3 minutes and 24 seconds. So Bayley has to beat that time. If she doesn't, she goes first at SummerSlam. So Bayley's in there with Naomi, and then Naomi hits the rear view and a couple things. I don't know if she reversed throughout the Bayley or not, but Naomi pins Bayley, and Bayley loses, and Sasha is shown on the outside like very happy. So Bayley has to defend her championship first. So Asuka comes out, and then she makes a threat to both Bayley and Sasha and takes them out as she stands tall in the ring. Meanwhile, backstage, AJ Styles is interviewed about the things that happened with Jeff Hardy, and he was basically saying that, I was going out there to help out the SmackDown roster of Retribution, and if Jeff Hardy was doing the same thing, he wouldn't have been in my way. So, AJ Styles healing up for the boy. Mandy Rose wants to put the beat behind her because her and Sonya Deville, the friendship, extending the olive branch because our friendship was just too good. And I don't want, to have this hair versus hair match at SummerSlam. So can we call it a truce, basically? So Sonya Deville is like, whatever I'm going to say, because Chuck was trying to interview her, say whatever I'm going to say, I'm going to say it, in the ring. And Dana Brooke came up and says, playing up what really happened to Sonya Deville, because we found out even more crazy stuff about that thing. Say, look, I'm sorry you had an emotional week. And she says, it's cool. I'm a survivor. I'll get over it. And then slapped Dana Brooke and said, she said selfish. She goes out to the ring and she's talking about something. How much that she told me she was going to be like this because you want to keep your precious little hair. I got in your head. You know that you can't beat me. And, I don't care about me going bald. But but you had that fear. So why don't we up the ante at SummerSlam? Why don't we make this a no disqualification match? Now, it didn't specify if it's still going to be hair versus hair. But I think that they could come to an agreement of who's going to really lose the hair. But she said we're going to be a no disqualification match. And the loser is going to leave WWE because she can no longer stand the sight of Mandy Rose. So that puts some big implications on this matchup. What's going to happen? It's going to be loser leaves WWE. I don't know if that means SmackDown and they go like the NXT or Raw, or if somebody's actually in the process of want to quit WWE or because of the pandemic. Whatever the case may be, that puts some interest in the matchup for me at SummerSlam. Intercontinental Championship match with AJ Styles taking on Jeff Hardy. Jeff Hardy's obviously limping on the outside, trying to come there, and but he got the guts, and AJ is working on that leg the whole matchup. But Jeff Hardy still fights back. He hits his jawbreaker, hits his front drop kicks. Like Corey Grace is wondering, where's Jeff Hardy getting all this from? And then AJ Styles tries to rip off the knee brace, but Jeff Hardy gets a knee brace, hits AJ Styles with it, gives him a twist of fate, and then climbs up slowly and hits the Swanton Bomb. 1, 2, 3. Jeff Hardy is the new Intercontinental Champion. And he gives an emotional speech that, last year he's at a bad place, so he didn't think he was going to win it, but this year he's glad that he can come back and do it. And then AJ's in the back cursing out Joseph Park, not cursing at him, but just cursing. Not really cursing because AJ Styles don't curse, but saying, that Jeff Hardy cheated. He was obviously pissed off, and he said, "You can look at my face right here that Jeff Hardy cheated to win this matchup." I don't know if they're gonna make an impromptu match, a rematch between Jeff Hardy and AJ Styles at SummerSlam. But this kind of match I would love to have at SummerSlam, but we already got like an 8-match card. So me personally, if it never see it coming, I would love to put them on at SummerSlam. Why not? I think that'd be kind of dope. But AJ Styles is your new Intercontinental Champion. But we're not done just yet. Time for the Firefly Funhouse. And now the Firefly Funhouse, Bray Wyatt is talking about the word love. He said, but love could be a dangerous thing. Also explained for the case between Alexa Bliss and Braun Strowman. So he has a little, Firefly Funhouse Theater. And we have Ramblin' Rabbit playing the part of Alexa Bliss, and Husker's Pig playing the part of Braun Strowman. So, you know, they're doing this little act I play about, you know, loving each other, and then he just rips up the screen and says, no, that's not how it happened. And then I looked away for a minute, and all I hear him say was, I was expecting you, or how'd you get here? It was one of them that he said, and then Braun Strowman starts attacking Bray Wyatt in the Firefly Funhouse, starts beating him down, and then he says, I'm not done with you. He picks up his legs and starts dragging him out the Firefly Funhouse. So we go to a commercial break. When we come back, Corey Graves and Michael Cole said, we're trying to get our cameras together and see what's going on in the backstage, and they're beating each other up backstage like a backstage brawl. And then the opening. So anybody who worked retail or just had whatever kind of jobs or supermarket where the truck will back up and goes into that little area right there where you can unload the truck at, because obviously the truck is high off the ground, so you got to unload it on that level. That's where they were at. And Braun Strowman chokeslams Bray Wyatt out of that truck carrying area and throws it right to the concrete on the bottom. And then he just walks away. So Bray Wyatt is laying down there. I mean, obviously, the way he fell and the way he's landed afterwards, of course, a crash pad on and stuff like that. Vince had showed us how to fall on the crash pad this past couple days. But they hurried to get the ambulance there, and they said the man took a nasty fall. Get him on there. So the ambulance goes, and you see it going up. I don't know this guy's name that works backstage, but I usually see him, and he's screaming at the ambulance like, "Go, man, get him out of here!" As if Bray Wyatt's on life support. Like I'm like this man got shot in the head, and it's like seconds. That's how he's acting for his ambulance to go. So the ambulance drives halfway up, then starts reeling back. He's like, "What is going on? What are you doing?" Then you see the red light inside the ambulance, and then they all back up like, "Oh my God, it's the red light. What's going on?" And then all of a sudden, the Fiend emerges from the ambulance, and then he sticks his tongue out, and he just starts laughing and does the laugh like, okay, you ain't destroyed Bray Wyatt, but you ain't destroying the Fiend. So this build-up is better than their Swamp feud at Money in the Bank, or better than their match they had at, was it Payback, or whatever the case may be. So that at Money in the Bank was the Mr. Rogers Bray Wyatt, and then Extreme Rules was the Swamp fight. So this one has the best build up. So SummerSlam, do build up wise, is actually looking pretty cool. The Thunderdome is cool. So SmackDown gets a pass from me tonight. I enjoyed the Jeff Hardy AJ Styles thing. I wanted to go put that match on SummerSlam. You know, Big E was cool. Had a decent opener with Sheamus. Retribution did not get on my nerves today as much as any other day. So I like how it made sense, and then how now, as I said before in podcasts and shows, that they're attacking different stars now. So I really enjoy that. So SmackDown gets a pass from me. So post that in the comments down below. How are you guys feeling about the go home show of SmackDown going into SummerSlam? Post that in the comments down below. Hit the like button if you guys enjoyed my reaction, and hit the subscribe button for more Fat Reacts right here on Nerd Coalition. So once again, this is NC Place to Be. Chill Trevor saying Nick is out.